But I do want to transition to this. And you're going to obviously make fun of me. But, yeah, I was wrong about Trevor Lawrence.
Ha ha ha.
Completely wrong. I said before the season that there was no way that Trevor Lawrence could have a down year because I just thought he was too talented. But he's still talented. He's still really talented. Still has all the arm talent in the world. Can make every throw. But he's having a down year. And so I was wrong. I'm going to admit that as a man. I was wrong. All right. This man has thrown double the interceptions that he threw last year. Double. Thrown 8 picks. Threw 4 all last year. And we're only 7 games in. His completion percentage is down. Yards are decent, but not great. 14 touchdowns, not bad, but still, again, not great, especially with the 8 interceptions. But, man, been a little bit disappointed. He could still improve as the season goes on, but a formula has been created to beat Trevor Lawrence. And I know Clemson fans don't want to admit it. I look at Clemson fan pages all the time, and people are like, oh, Trevor's fine. We'll win a championship with him playing the way that he is now. Because I commented on a post and said he's not playing the level we need to win a championship. And here's why. When you face, we'll go 13-0. I think we'll go 13-0 easy. But that's because the ACC is horrible. When we get to the playoffs, you can't turn the ball over the way he's turned the ball over against Bama or maybe LSU, depending on what happens in that game. Against Ohio State, Oklahoma, even maybe Penn State, or maybe even if Florida was able to somehow find a way to win out. Even them making the playoffs with an outside shot. You can't turn the ball over against elite teams like that. You just can't. If you give enough opportunities to teams like that, they will crush you. All right? They will find a way to beat you. And the formula,
they will embarrass you.
Exactly. And the formula now, if you watch the film to beat Trevor, is not to blitz him. All of last year, people thought that you needed to blitz to beat Trevor because he was a young quarterback, and they thought, well, maybe if we could confuse him and put some pressure on him, that'll be the solution. No, he's too good. He'll just recognize where you're blitzing from. He'll make adjustments. He's going to throw and replace where you blitz from. Simple as that. And so you won't have enough players to cover our receivers out there. And people learned that. And what they've adjusted to is now people are just rushing 4 and dropping 7, or they might rush 3, drop 8 into zone coverage, and they're saying, read the coverage. Go out there and read the coverage. And if you beat us, you beat us. But we are betting on you won't be able to recognize what we're running. And that has caused him to throw interceptions because he gets impatient and he gets a little bit overconfident in his receivers and his arm talent, and he'll just chuck it up.
He's trying to force it.
Exactly. He's forcing it. And I heard before the season, I remember an interview that he was giving where he was telling people that the one way he can improve is to start making plays outside the pocket and start to force the ball more to try and, make more big plays. And I knew it was dangerous to do something like that in the offseason, and it's proven itself. It's reared its ugly head. I mean, this dude has completely just it's mind-boggling, some of these interceptions. He threw an interception into triple coverage last week against Louisville to T. Higgins. He just chucked it up. They're running a cover 4. All right, so that means they're dropping into the corner in the safeties. They're dropping 4 and making sure that nothing beats them deep. I think they were running it in a man concept. He throws it to T. Higgins down the rail into triple coverage, and it's just the easiest pick. When you have Travis Etienne wide open in the flat, which is what the defense gives up. It's what they give you in that coverage. You have to dump it down to the flat. It would have been an easy 8 yards. It wasn't a third down, so it's not situational. You could have thrown it into the flat, got them 8 yards, made it to I think it was a second down, so it would have been 3rd and 2. That's easy. Then you could just hand it off to Travis Etienne, or you could run anything you want at that point. But when you throw an interception, yeah, that's what's going to happen. You give the ball up, and then that's what happens. If it wasn't for our elite defense, we would be toast in some of these games, and that won't cut it against elite teams. You have to be able to diagnose the coverages. Bottom line. I mean,
I agree. Y'all have to get the ball into Travis's hand more.
Exactly.
In the passing game also, because he's deadly when he gets in space. He's really deadly. Last week he only had 4. This entire season he has 8 catches. That's not gonna cut it. If you guys get him involved in the passing game more, you'll be 100% more deadly.
For sure.
Travis has to dump the ball off to him. This dude, I will admit, since I don't know, bro, I can't say that, but he's really, really good.
Travis Etienne is one of the top 4 backs in the league or nation. But
in my opinion, he's the best, and he's facing it against the. I think he's the best. Only 98 carries, 800 yards. That's wow.
I mean, that's been one of his strong suits, is that he has a very high yards per carry. But I will say, I don't think he's the best, because I do think Jonathan Taylor and DeAndre Swift are better, because they have produced against better defenses. Whenever Travis Etienne goes up against an SEC defense, when it comes to Texas A&M or Bama, teams that are built to stop the run, he struggles. And you can put that on the offensive line, and that's fair. But he also has to help out the offensive line and try to find the creases. So I do think he needs the ball more. I mean, dude doesn't even have 100 carries in this season, and he's gotten that many yards. And it proved itself against Louisville, because he had 198 yards, and that was the game changers. We were able to run the ball. Louisville wasn't. And so it's just some of these interceptions with Trevor, man. And sometimes it hasn't even been about reading coverage. It was just stupid decisions, just mind-boggling. I mean, you look at the interception he had against Florida State. He's rolling out towards the out of bounds. Nobody's open. And, you should either throw it away or try and get upfield and tightrope the sideline and try and get a couple of more yards and run out of bounds and keep yourself safe. That's what any good quarterback would be able to do. I would rather him throw the ball out of bounds, but that's just me. Instead, he decides right before he's about to run out of bounds, he stops right by the sideline and just chucks it downfield to DeAndre Overton, and it gets an easy interception against Florida State. And that was in his best game. That was in his best game of the year, where he played the most efficient, and he still threw a pick. And it was just like, what are you doing? What? Who told you to throw that ball? Who did it? Because I'm about to lock them up. They should not have a job. Whoever told him to throw a ball like that, they shouldn't have a job. Because I know it wasn't the coaches, because the coaches should keep their jobs. I know they didn't tell him to throw that. I mean, it's ridiculous. The dude is just not reading coverages, and it will kill us if he does not improve. He has to improve his ability to read the defenses, read the zone coverages, especially if we end up playing Ohio State. They play majoritively zone, and they only really pressure with 4 because they have Chase Young. I mean, that would be a likely playoff matchup, is Clemson versus Ohio State. I'd love to see it, because I love playing Ohio State 31-0 in 2016. Gotta mention that. But that won't happen this year because they're too good. And especially, we won't even be able to win if you throw interceptions like that. If you can't read zone coverage, which is what they play, Jeff Okudah and Fuller on the back end with the safety, they're going to eat you alive. That's what's going to happen. And they're going to be able to pressure you because they have Chase Young. So, just get ready. Because we are not where we need to be. We aren't.
By a long shot. Nowhere near.
I mean, we can blow out as many opponents as we want and make the playoffs. We will not win a playoff game if he continues to throw interceptions like this. It will cost us. And so I was definitely wrong. I was wrong. He's having a down year. Can turn it around, but we'll see. If you like this content, hit the like button and subscribe if you're new. And subscribe if you want to see more podcasts like this. We're going to be uploading Mondays and Fridays. So definitely subscribe if you like this content and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload or a stream.